I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 184 of the Chat Season podcast. I'm your host, Kam.
I'm your host, Flowz.
And before we kick off the episode, guys, my usual housekeeping message, please head over to our Instagram page, which is Strap Season Podcast, or our Twitter page, which is Strap Season Pod. There's a link in the bio on both of those pages there, so hit the link, and that'll take you to where we're situated at, streaming-wise. We're on all good streaming platforms. So if audio is your steez, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so on is there. And if you like visuals, the YouTube channel link is also there. So subscribe to whichever one you prefer, guys. Leave us comments, leave us good reviews, engage with us. Please, we welcome it. Flowz, are you good first and foremost? I know you're happy.
Yeah, it's been a lovely weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Two great results.
Yeah, it's been an interesting weekend still. But other sports treating us nicely, Flowz. Well, not me, but yeah, other sports treating us, treating people nicely. Boxing, not so much. And I say that because, Flowz, again, it's quite another lean week. Not much to talk about, really. Massive in terms of massive fights. We gave a semi-preview. Well, we previewed last week the Berlanga McCrory card. Yeah, that went down obviously yesterday, Flowz. I think it's only right that we talk about it. I think first and foremost, Flowz, what I'm gonna say straight away is the people really don't like Edgar Berlanga, man. He's Flowz, he's not liked at all. I've clocked it now. I didn't stay up to watch the fight. But obviously next morning check, say, what was the result? Let me see what happened. Saw that he won. But even though he won, and I saw that he stopped his opponent in the 6th round, shout out to him because that's his first stoppage since, 2020, 2021, as we pointed out last week, Flowz.
Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he stopped his opponent. So I'm there thinking, okay. The power's still there and whatnot. But the tweets were killing him, Flowz. Despite him stopping his opponent well within the distance, he was getting cooked. And I'm thinking, why do they hate? They were cooking him, saying, he was getting outboxed by this random Irish guy, getting outboxed by a 35-year-old guy, struggling to put him away, this, that. I think to myself, I think once, in boxing, Flowz, and how fans can be, right? And once you get a tag of you're a hype job or hype train or you're boring. The boring is the word that's what gets a lot of fighters. That tag is so hard to shake. And I think because of Berlanga has been hyped up in the past, I think a lot of people obviously, and the fact that he was still raw, and then we're seeing him subsequently struggle against guys that you wouldn't think he would struggle against. That's when people have been onto him, be like, yeah, this guy's whack. Can't wait to see him get battered. That's this, that, and the third. So I think that's it with Berlanga, and that's why he's just not really that what people don't really take to him too well. I think also he's quite. I think because he's New York, Flowz, he's quite cocky, he's quite loud. I think that's why people don't like him. But they all saying he struggled, Flowz. Struggled.
I mean, I watched it, but I weren't impressed.
What were your thoughts?
I wouldn't say I was impressed. There were some positives, I guess, from him. He was more patient because, like we say, his whole reputation was of however many knockouts in the first round in a row. It was 16, 17 knockouts, first round knockouts in a row. Yeah. Then they dried up and he struggled badly in those fights against opponents who aren't even that great, really. So I'm watching him now. I'm seeing him more patient and cool. He was getting caught. This McCrory guy looks like he came to fight. He didn't look like he came to roll over. And I think for me, it was seeing some of the dark cards again for Berlanga. With the elbow, low blows, leading in with his head.
Which
it's like
you've pointed out, Flowz, as well. This is something that's happened with him before, right? Yeah. When he's not necessarily getting his way as well, he gets
he starts to misbehave. You mentioned got a fine and a ban for biting. Was it not his last opponent, or the opponent before, maybe?
Yeah.
So you see that creeping in again. Look, he done what he was supposed to do. He was meant to win, but was I impressed? No, because I've never heard of this brother before. So yeah, I can see why people are still on to him because he's not done anything to change opinions as such. For his confidence, he's got a knockout, calm. But you got to remember, it's the way he's talking and the way he's been hyped.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about, what's his name, McCrory? And the names you're saying after McCrory, it's not adding up, bro.
Yeah, we might, okay, sense. we might as well segue into it then, Flowz, because, so listeners, just around here, he started slow, and there were portions where McCrory was piecing up a little bit and gained confidence, and there was rounds where Berlanga was active, and he was letting his hands go, and obviously you can see the power stakes in line with him. But then there's other rounds where he was a bit too lax and a bit too tentative and a bit ponderous for my liking, and McCrory got in there. But he finally turned up in the 6th round where he caught him nicely, and you could see this guy was hurt, and he went in for the kill, had him against the ropes, Flowz, and sort of blitzed him, and then they dropped him, and that was it really. Like, this McCrory guy, I think, I didn't think he beat the count. I think the referee ended up, didn't the towel even come in?
The towel got thrown in. Yeah,
but he was kind of on all fours, right, Flowz? He hadn't really like, he was slumped. So nice finish, but I can say, I guess I want to give him props for the fact that obviously it's been a while since he's knocked someone out, and he had someone hurt this time, and he was able to go and finish the job. So fair play to that, but still raw, Flowz, still raw. It's still early for him at 25-26. That's okay.
Yeah.
So when we see now that throughout the broadcast, Flowz, and after the broadcast, they keep bringing up Canelo's name, I'm beside myself. I can't lie, Flowz. I'm thinking, why are they mentioning Saul Canelo Alvarez, the biggest star in boxing, and Berlanga? What kind of mismatch is that? And then obviously they go and ask him afterwards in the post-fight, in the ring interview, blah, blah, who do you want? I think in the post-fight presser as well. And he's just saying, I want him now. My guy, take time. Take time. Come on, man. Flowz, why are they pushing this Berlanga-Canelo agenda? Why?
I think they're trying to cash in on Berlanga. I really don't know what's going on, because you knocked out Stupcans, you stepped up slightly, and you went to help. And you haven't stepped up anything. You haven't fought any champs. You're not even close to the level of fighting champs.
Hasn't fought for interim belts. Hasn't fought for secondary belts. You know what I mean? The silver belt. You know that kind of stuff.
Hasn't gone through any of the motions. It's confusing. Eddie Hearn's pushing this as well.
He's entertaining. Hearn's annoying me because he's actually the one bigging it up.
Look, from when they signed Berlanga, they've been talking about Canelo. Now, look, granted, you're meant to call out the big guys. Yeah. But you're also meant to be calling out the guys who are beneath them as well.
Yeah.
You're meant to be trying to vie for positions, but it doesn't make sense because Canelo stops it early.
Bro, I can't Flowz. If that fight gets made, Flowz, it is farcical. That is the biggest mismatch I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's a gross mismatch because he's struggling against guys who haven't even got Wikipedia pages and stuff. Flowz, this is a joke. It's actually silly that he's being floated in conversations. It's being entertained. You saw the graphic that the Zone dropped, the Canelo sweepstakes graphic. We saw Jamal in there. We saw Terrence. We saw Berlanga, and we saw it was a lot. Munguia, of course. I'd rather see Berlanga versus Munguia, and even Munguia, he's not ready for.
Yeah, he's not.
Even Munguia washes him, in my opinion. Flowz.
Crawford washes him.
They all wash him.
Crawford comes up to 168 and washes him.
Bro, he's so far removed from being ready, Flowz. So it's a joke that it's being discussed. Apparently, they're in discussions as well, Flowz. The rumor is they're already in talks. I mean, I think the rumor, Flowz, is that Canelo's in talks with everyone at this point because he seems to be entertaining all offers. He's trying to get a fight for May 4th, obviously, Cinco de Mayo, that weekend. So he's looking for an opponent. But there's no way in hell it should be Berlanga. Like it's that is a horrendous fight to make. It will sell because it's Canelo, But it's still a horrible, horrible fight. I'm so sorry. And he gets battered.
I don't think it will sell.
It's Canelo, Flowz, it will sell.
If Canelo's fighting a Berlanga, he's finished as well.
Also,
sorry.
I'm no, Flowz. If it gets, I'm cooking Canelo as well.
We have to.
Because we're very clear and the world is clear in terms of what they want. And it's frustrating why it's not, obviously, they didn't even include Benavidez in the graphic. Yeah. I feel like that was either political jabs or obviously the fact of the matter is, obviously, Flowz, we might as well talk about it. I'm sure you know the news that Benavidez apparently is going to move up to 175 to fight Govodzik.
Yeah.
What's his first name again, Flowz? I can't remember his first name. Not Artur, is it?
Hey, is it
Alexander? It's Alexander. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's fighting Alexander Govodzik apparently at 175. When I saw that news, Flowz, obviously, because we said, look, next up, it has to be Benavidez. Benavidez has earned his position to be, that's the one that the whole fact, like everyone wants Canelo versus Benavidez. As in, it's got so much Mexico versus Mexico. It's got so much interest, even that, you know, obviously Benavidez, his fan base and his hype, his train is huge now, Flowz. And you have people actively saying that Canelo is scared of him or that they think Benavidez is going to be the guy to beat Canelo. So the interest for that fight is massive. And we've obviously assumed that when you signed that free fight deal with PBC, obviously, it can't be Berlanga next. This guy's under contract with PBC anyways. I'm sorry. Is he not, Flowz? He's got two fights left. That's what we were led to believe.
It seems like he's able to get out of it somehow. He's got like some way to get out of it.
Some clause or whatever
Yeah, because they can't put up the money for
right.
I believe that. But look, it sounds like Benavidez kind of made them a last-ditch offer. They've offered them 55 mil, I heard was the money. If they don't accept it, then they're going to move up and fight. They're going to, move up. He basically wants to be a champion at 175. Yeah, 175.
Which, by the way, is a division that he can hang in because he's huge.
He's bigger than Beterbiev and Bivol.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw that first, when I first saw Govodzik, I thought, rah, lost my part. I thought, bro, he retired. He forgot that he came out of retirement last year. He had 3 fights last year.
Against who? I think I know this. Yeah.
One of the fighters was Blocknix. Remember the guy who fought Yard?
Yes.
No, not Yard. Fought Watsi and gave Watsi problems. He knocked him out. With him being back out of retirement, Flowz, first of all, that's good because he's really good. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. He's 36 now, and obviously he retired after the Beterbiev fight because he was hospitalized. Remember, Flowz, like it was bad for him. But that was a very good fight. I think he was ahead of the cards until Beterbiev stopped him. Actually, Govodzik. So he's a very, very, very good boxer. If he comes back with some shred of what he had before, that's a great addition because he's cold. And that fight with Benavidez is really, really good. Good fight. But it's just a shame because obviously we felt that the Benavidez versus Canelo fight would be next and close, especially after Canelo took care of Lil Charlo. It made sense. Big Charlo and Benavidez are left up for that PBC contract. So if Benavidez does go out Flowz, and let's say he beats Govodzik, it's almost like I don't know if he wants to treat like a keep busy sort of thing, Flowz, and then when Canelo's freed up again, he comes back down to fight Canelo, maybe. But that's end of the day, Flowz. That's all I want to see Canelo versus. I'm not interested in no Berlanga. I'm not interested in no Munguia.
That's the last one. I'll allow a Charlo.
I am not. Look, Flowz, it's Big Charlo and Benavidez. That's it. I'm not interested in Berlanga. I'm not interested in Munguia yet. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in Bud, Flowz. I don't want to see this Bud thing is annoying me too. I don't want to see it.
I've even heard Chris Eubank Jr.'s name in the mix.
Get him out here. Get out.
Look, I don't know what Canelo's doing. Just give us the fans what we want to see because you threw down the gauntlet and said these guys should fight each other.
Yes.
And I was on your side. I was like, yes.
Facts.
They need to fight each other. Benavidez went right ahead and done that.
Yeah.
Went right ahead and done that.
Took care of Plant, took care of Andrade. I'm number 1 now. Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Canelo's just come out the other day, didn't know, and said, "I've got, I'm not leaving. I've got 5 more years left of this." Yeah. So, yeah, man. Look, this Berlanga thing. As long as this Berlanga thing don't happen, like at least out of all of them, right? Cool. Crawford and Munguia and whatnot. Even though I don't want to see it, Flowz, I can allow it. Berlanga, I cannot categorically allow Flowz.
No, he's easy. It'll be worse as a choice than Eubank Jr. He's the last one we need to see.
Berlanga to me is a worse opponent than the Yildirim. And Yildirim was a mandatory thing. I'm keeping it. That's facts. I'm not lying. Yildirim's a better opponent than Berlanga.
Yeah, this will be a legit cherry pick. A legit bona fide cherry pick if he fights Berlanga when he has other options. Yeah,
crazy. And again, we're not doing it to slight Berlanga, Flowz. It's just simple. You're too raw still. You're still learning. You're not there yet. It's right. You don't need to rush.
Canelo's words: "You fought nobody." You say that's what you fought.
Yeah, it's true. You fought nobody.
Fought no one.
Nobody.
Steve Rose he fought. That's the only guy.
Yep.
Rose he fought.
That's it, really, Flowz. That's that we know.
Like,
Quickly, that Quickly guy, he fought him.
Jason Quigley,
Yep.
I went 12 rounds with him.
He dropped him 4 times, to be fair, but he didn't get him out though. But yeah, literally Rose and Quigley, those are the 2 that I know off name.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah, and they're not factors. And this Rose certainly ain't a factor at this level.
But Steve Rose? Yeah. Nah. Can't allow it, Flowz. Canelo, don't embarrass me, please. I pick you up all the time. Don't embarrass me in front of my mates, please. Pick the right opponent, someone that's credible and worthy, not Edgar Berlanga. And Berlanga, keep doing what you're doing. Keep taking over. You're still learning, kid. Keep learning. That's it, really.
Yep. Keep stepping up. Keep practicing your craft.
Yeah, simple.
That's what you can do. No need to rush. JJ. Get yourself ice.
Ice. I was going to say ice, yeah. On the undercard as well, Flowz, just worth touching that Andy Cruz won as well. He didn't stop his opponent, but he pieced him up basically, Flowz, for the entire 10 rounds. Yeah, man. Again, he looks very promising. Expected Cuban, obviously. So, he's working on the Bozianis. So yeah, I'm sure we'll keep an eye on him. Hearn apparently came out and said he's going to make a huge offer to Keyshawn Davis's team. I feel like he's gassing though, but you know what, he's going to keep living it up. But I don't want to see that fight just yet, Flowz. Again, Andy Cruz is still a rookie in the pro game. 3 fights in. The fight doesn't need to rush to happen now. And to us, Keyshawn, he's got his eyes somewhere else, as we know. So
I'm loving what Keyshawn's doing about it. His name's in everyone's mouth.
Bro, I saw he called Adam Azim again as well. The other day. He's called. He said, "I'll come to the UK to fight." Yeah, he's called everyone, man.
Frank Martin, Floyd Schofield, Adam Azim, Tiafimo. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Yeah, for sure. Not much going on next week, Flowz. Only fight worth mentioning is Amanda Serrano. Again, every time I mention Amanda Serrano, I want to credit Jake Paul for doing such a great work of her. She's fighting, I think it's a homecoming fight. She's fighting in Puerto Rico in one of the stadiums out there. She's putting her IBF, WBO, and WBA titles on the line against a German opponent called Nina Meinke. Let me get her record up, actually. She has 13 fights, 10 wins, 3 losses. She's coming off the back of a loss, actually. Yeah, nice. That's a nice homecoming fight for Amanda Serrano still. Shout out to Jake Paul again, as you said, Flowz. He's done a great job with Amanda. He's really done right by her and made her into a bit of a star in it. So, I mean, she's really big before she joined Jake, but I think her star's even bigger now, shining brighter now. So, shout out to her in that one. That'll be on the zone. There is actually something I want to talk about, Flowz. Just something that popped up, obviously, this week in terms of fights that apparently has been made and been agreed and confirmed. What make of you, Flowz, of the news that Gervonta Davis is defending his title? This is the title that he got gifted. His 135 belt. Well, it's true. He didn't win the belt outright. He got elevated, no? Or they handed it to him. But
Yeah, apparently he's defending that belt. I think it's a WBA belt. I think it's WBA.
Yeah.
He's defending against Frank Martin Flowz at 135. Supposedly this has been agreed. It's a done deal. What make of you that, Flowz?
It's a good fight.
Yeah.
Once again, I'll believe it when I see it. So everyone's reporting that it's been agreed. But I remember Shakur and Frank Martin was agreed on.
Yes.
And then BBC pulled him out. Look, they're all under the same banner under PBC. They've got a new broadcaster in Amazon Prime, so I guess they have to put on a good fight, and this is a good fight.
Yeah.
But
we'll
see.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes against the formula that they've been using.
Yeah. I mean, it sticks to the formula, but also goes against it, right, Flowz? Because when I say sticks to the formula, I mean the main formula of Tank. We've always seen Tank fight a non-PBC opponent once in Ryan Garcia, right? See, that was too big not to be made. But in general, the formula always is Tank, as we said, Flowz, in-house.
Yeah. And
Frank Martin is a PBC fighter, so he counts as in-house. Now, when you say against formula, I know exactly what you mean. This ain't no Latino. This is a black fighter. And Tank, as we know, tends to only fight Latino fighters. I think I agree with you in the sense, Flowz, that obviously new broadcaster Amazon, they have to show out PBC. Amazon probably would have put pressure on them to show out, or they put pressure on themselves to show out on Amazon and to show that they're the best. So they're forced to make maybe some moves that they wouldn't normally make, Flowz, or get away with. And Frank Martin presents an actual live, credible opponent. Now, he's not the opponent that we want to see Tank against. Well, I say opponents, let's say the Shakurs, Devin Haney's, the Tiafimos, etc. But he is a very good opponent. Frank Martin is undefeated. We rate him. He's very good. And to be honest, Flowz, I think they're cashing in on Frank to serve the larger pot of gold, which is Tank, obviously, which is more or less what they're doing. But Frank can win. He's a very good boxer. I think he knows Tank well as well. They've obviously been in the same sparring camps together. They sparred bare times, I think. I remember Frank saying, it was good work. He pushed me, I pushed him. No one got the better of each other. That's what they tend to say, obviously. I like the fight if it happens, but I'm with you as well, Flowz, in the sense that I will see it. I'll see it when I believe it when I see it. Yeah. It's been because Tank is funny, man. And to be honest, I'm surprised because remember what we said, Flowz. I think we both predicted that when he got gifted that belt, we said this guy he ain't defending. He's gonna probably vacate, and because no more Tank, he chases fights, big money for what I mean. So I was quite surprised. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised to see this news get announced because I actually thought that Tank would vacate this belt. And I'm intrigued to see if Team Tank do their usual Team Tank tactics of putting everything in their favor. If it's at 135 and it's for the belt, then cool. At least we know there'll be no janky, Flowz, catch weights or whatever. But they might, would there be a dodgy rehydration call? We don't know. We know what Team Tank that try to manipulate things in their favor. Yeah. Maybe when they feel like, boy, this could be a potentially tricky fight, let's try and get everything in our favor. If they don't, maybe they're thinking, yeah, man, Frank Martin here is food. We'll see. But yeah. At this stage, Flowz, I'll take it. It's a tough fight. Frank is cold. Yeah. Do you think, Flowz, it's too early for Frank? He's got 18 fights, I think 12 KOs. Who would you say his best opponent was?
Rivera?
I was gonna say, the Puerto Rican Muhammad Ali, whatever his name is, Rivera.
Yeah, Michael Rivera, yeah. And he handled him convincingly.
Yeah, he slumped him. Yeah. Yeah, probably then. Yeah, actually, well, yeah, the last guy, we hadn't heard of the Harutunian guy, but he gave him some good work. I think he struggled a little bit before he finally got active. But yeah, I guess on paper, you're probably looking at Rivera as being his best opponent, possibly. To be fair, Rivera has just come off a win against Sergey Lipinets. So yeah, Rivera for sure. So yeah, you reckon too early for him?
Yeah, I think it's too early for him. But the problem is, Tank stalled in his career in terms of how he and Frank Martin's in position. He's in position to challenge for one of the titles. So when you're in position, it's either now or you try and delay it.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have been more active. I think Rivera fight was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, Rivera fight was in 2022, so 2 years ago, December
2022, and he's fought once since.
Yeah.
So fought once last year. So I feel like maybe
PBC heritage, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe he's not had enough activity.
Yeah.
But when you're in position, it's now or never. And
yeah,
it's a shame. Tank's got the belt now. To be fair, it's a stacked division. So whoever you're gonna have to take that belt off it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, the thing is with PBC, Tank's vanquished opponents have come out good. Have come out looking good on the other end. So they're probably nice and Frank Martin that, look, we can move up and pattern you a title shot immediately. We can do this for you. Maybe Tank will move up and you can fight for the title again. I don't know how they pattern it, but win, lose, or draw, I'm sure Frank Martin will be good.
Yeah. And you know what? Obviously, I remember that obviously when the whole Frank and Shakur negotiations broke down, Flowz, if you remember, they was killing Frank, cooking him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you turned down the opportunity to be great. You turned down your career high payday, blah, blah. I guess he can say somewhat vindicated for turn that down, waiting a little bit, because if this Tank fight does go down, that's a much bigger payday than what Shakur was going to get him. That's the Tank lottery, kind of. So he's, I guess he probably feels somewhat vindicated to all the people that were chatting about it and saying, boy, you messed up. You should have taken the Shakur fight, blah, blah. Shakur himself was what was cooking him. Hey, if he's got the Tank opportunity now, that's more of a bigger payday for sure. And more eyes on him, if we're keeping it buck. Because Shakur, unfortunately, is fighting on Thursdays. So Tank, this will be straight pay-per-view. We know what it is with Tank. It's straight pay-per-view. So, yeah.
No excuse for me. That's no little for me. You should have fought Shakur, won the belt, if you believe in yourself. And then you can pat more money for fighting Tank.
Yeah.
But anyway, PBC doing PBC things. I don't blame Frank Martin.
Yeah.
So look, if this fight is legit and it's happening and it's definitely going down, then it's a good fight. But
if this fight does go down, Flowz, that also possibly means that potentially the Keyshawn Frank Martin might be closer than you think. I mean, in terms of, because I think back then, obviously, when they were both going at each other, we probably said, oh, it's probably too soon for Keyshawn and probably Frank as well. Let them weigh out. But if Frank is now jumping to this level of caliber straight away, and let's say he does lose, which I guess most people are expecting him to, Keyshawn fight could be around the corner, if, I guess, subject to both parties agreeing or whatever. But yeah, because once you step into this realm, there isn't really much going back.
Yeah.
Obviously, you rebuild. If you lose, you rebuild and whatnot, and you come again. But you've stepped in, especially if he's able to step in and hang and do really well. That's him. That's him now. He's in that level now. So, yeah, very intriguing fight. I do think it's a bit too soon for him, but what else is there on the table for him at this point? Go for it. There to be great. I think he can perform well. And I guess if it does happen, Flowz, because again, we could be talking about a fight that's not going to happen right now. We don't know. We would break it down. We'll have to go for it.
Sure.
I think we can leave it there, Flowz. Another short one this week. Next week, the following week, obviously, we can get back to the big fights, the big topics. Who is fighting. I look forward to breaking that one down. But listeners, it's been episode 184 of the Stretch X Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know what to do and you know where to find us. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.